Motivates, and I am your life coach. Welcome to this conversation with,
Geo, Boss Life Online.
yes. So we are in collaboration. We're doing a four-part series and talking about knowing yourself in order to be successful. But, along the way, that there's a little bit of things that we have to do, and we're going to talk about those things. I'm going to share my thoughts, and Gio will share hers. Okay,
Yeah.
so go with this topic today. Know yourself in order to be successful. Just thinking about this topic really causes me to pause for a moment, Gio, and really reflect. Like, do I know myself? Am I doing everything that I need to do in order to be successful? These are some of the questions that we need to be thinking about during today's conversation. Okay.
Right.
So, first off, I want to talk about tip number one. I really think you can't know yourself and be successful if you have not allowed yourself to get into any healing. There has to be healing that has to take place within each of us in order for us to be successful. If you have some things inside, like this person did this to you, this person backstabbed you, this person made you upset, if you have all of this energy tied up into they hurt me, this one did that, how can you be successful if you have all of these things inside of yourself? I just, like, you're shaking your head, you're right, you can't. So let me hear your thoughts, Gio.
Well, I can only speak on myself and my own healing from this one done that, and I'm gonna choke them down and being mad, and I was the only one losing. Okay, I was the only one not completing anything. Okay. It wasn't until I went to therapy, I'm telling y'all, that I learned about how to be better. And all of that wasn't even necessary. You know, I learned about how to let go, how to forgive people, and how to just say, oh, well, you know, I want to win. So if forgiving you is what I need to do, that's what I'm going to do. But it was a bit easier for me to do that because then I found out that forgiveness is for me. It wasn't for them. So I was like, yeah, I forgive you, and I really meant it. Cause because Marlene, I wanted to be successful. That bad. See, you gotta want it. You don't want it, you don't make that decision to want it, man, it ain't gonna happen for you.
And
So yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and I'm glad that you said that, Gio, that you have to want it. And like you said, that forgiveness is for you. Before, the unhealed me was about, I wanted the power, I wanted the control. How could they do this to me? And it was all about me and my feelings, where I had to understand that there's always two sides
Yeah.
to every situation, and also having that accountability part, that is a part of your healing and your personal growth and development, is being honest with yourself and saying, what did I do? What did
What
I do?
for?
And
Well,
oh, I hated that. I remember that day. Anybody who has ever been to therapy knows about when your therapist turns to you and say, Marlene, what role did you play in that?
and most of the time, because we're not where we supposed to be, we're gonna say well, I didn't do nothing.
I didn't do nothing.
You be tripping all over your words because you know you've done something. Okay, so and I used to do that a lot when I first started going to therapy. My therapist told me, well, I don't think I can help you no more. So, because you don't want to be honest with yourself, and I don't want to just take your money. And by the time she had got up, I was like, please, Girl, I knew I had messed up. I knew. I said, and she said it's so mean. And I guess that was to really get my attention. I started wailing and hollering and talking, I'll tell the truth. I'll tell the truth. And girl, that's how when my recovery started.
Mm, yeah. See, that's what it takes in order for us to be successful as well, being honest and
Yeah,
also being in the position to want to make changes, because that's what holds a lot of people back from being successful. They don't know how to be honest with themselves. After a while you start putting these ideas in your head that it went this way, but was it ever really that way, or did you just portray it that way because you were upset or angry, immature? See, we're peeling back all of those things, and this is a bitter pill for us to swallow.
yeah,
Learning to be honest with ourselves enough to say, I was the problem, I did wrong, I was not doing the right things.
right,
You know, I was disrespectful. That is also a part of healing as well. Healing yourself to say, I make mistakes. I don't always do the right thing. I need to be kinder. I need to be a better listener. See, you see how all of this can be tied into
right.
being successful?
True. It is so true because if you're not honest with yourself, at some point in time, you got to get honest if you want to be better. If you're looking at me and you say, I want to be successful like Gio, I want to be able to express myself, then everybody got a story. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to be real with it because people that have been through a whole bunch of I already know you're lying.
Mhm.
Okay? Because, I meet people every day and the stuff that they try to pull on me or whatever, I'm like, child, I done been through that. That's a lie I used to tell. You know what I'm saying? No, you can't play the game. What is this? You can't.
They say game recognize game.
Right, right. That's what it is. And
Mhm.
I was talking to my daughter about this same thing, and she said, "Well, Mama," she said, "because you went to therapy and then you made me go." She said, "I really and truly appreciate that." But she said, "I can't." It's like everybody that didn't go. You know what I'm saying? I know what they trying to do to me. I said, "But ain't you glad about that too? That you don't have to,
Yeah.
know yourself so well that you don't have to accept things from people. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to accept no abuse. You don't have to accept no disrespect. You don't have to accept anything that you don't want to accept. As long because you got honest with yourself and said, I need to be honest with me, so that I can have a better life, so that I can be happy. Let me tell you something. That's the best thing that ever happened to me when that woman told me she couldn't help me no more. And I started crying because what I got from it, Marlene, was happiness. I'm talking about inner happiness. I ain't talking about getting a man, getting married, and having some children and being happy. Now, I'm
Mhm.
talking about the happiness that I never felt in my
With
life before, within. Within. I can make Geo happy. And then I can make everybody in my life. You're gonna be, if you are around me, you're gonna feel some happiness. Okay? Because that's what I'm about. I love to just I love to feel good. So I'm saying all of this because that goes right along with what me and Marlene talked about. You have to know yourself in order to win, not only in business, but in life. You have to know yourself and
Yes,
you have to want to be better.
That part right there. And you have to want it for you, Geo, and
Yes.
there's a lot of times in this topic of motivation, you can't want it for who you're in a relationship. You can't want it for your children. You can't want it for who you're in a romantic relationship with. You have to want this for yourself.
Right.
And because you want it, you're willing to make sacrifices, you're willing to be honest, and you're willing to say what is my lane, what I'm good at. That these are the things that make us successful. You
That
can't be
yes.
successful if you can't do the right things.
Right. And that is what a lot of people would ask me when I first started out, and I was so successful way back in the day when I quit my job and walked away and said bye 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 bye. Okay? And they always ask me, I want to be like you. My
Mm,
first question to myself was, oh, so they want to go on a crime spree? They want to go on an honest spree?
mm,
They want to go on the tell the truth. They want to go
right,
on a forgiveness spree because that's what got me successful. It
mm,
wasn't that the money. I mean, it wasn't that I knew how to do business because I learned that from my dad. Okay,
right.
it wasn't that I had all of this successfulness inside me. It was, but because I went to therapy and I learned how to be honest, and I wanted it so bad that that's how come I'm successful. I don't know if I'm explaining it right,
You are,
Marlene.
Gio. It's one of those things like a well that you draw up water. Inside of all of us, we all have inside of us. It may be deeper down for others, but we all have success. We all have potential. We all have value. We all have all of these qualities, but it's up for us to tap into it.
Right. Yeah, and when people ask me that, that's the first thing I think about. Oh, they must want to cry a river. You know, because in order to be successful and and know your worth and know what you will do and you won't do, you got to be honest with yourself. You got to have core values, all of that.
You
And if
do.
you just can't steal people's stuff and think you won
And,
because
and
you're not gonna feel good about it.
you have to live with that. Those
Thank
that's a
you.
that's a part about taking ownership. Because Gio, if we're gonna have an honest discussion about these things, I know about being grimy, and I wasn't always honest
Yeah.
because you have to learn how to be honest with yourself so you can be honest with others.
Thank you. There you go.
Mm.
And that's what I learned how to do, because my family was very dysfunctional and they just did stuff that just wasn't right.
Grimy,
Yeah,
grimy
and
as
I learned how to do it and this and that. So I had to ungrind myself,
yes.
okay, into the
I,
person that I am today.
right, as my therapist would call, you needed to purify yourself,
Right.
cleanse yourself, detox. And a lot of people don't understand that part, that if you have been in dysfunction, toxicity, being put down, you become your environment. But you can always cleanse that. You can always
Right.
change that. You can
Mhm.
always heal. And that's why this topic of knowing yourself in order to be successful, it's not that that's just for other people. Success is for everybody if
Right.
put in the work.
Yes, success is for everybody. You may not have to go down the same route I did.
Mhm.
Everybody has a different route to success, but there is only one thing that we all need to do if you want to be successful, and that's get honest with yourself. Find out what your weaknesses are. Find out what your strengths are, and don't be worried about your weaknesses. Don't work on them. You work on your strengths.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, if we just did a collaboration about that, Marlene and I,
Mhm.
and I was talking about work on your strengths. You can always delegate the weaknesses out to other people. But if you are not honest with yourself and you trying to be a friend of somebody, but you going behind their back talking about them, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to delegate nothing.
Yep. You're right.
Ain't
You're
nobody gonna want to work with you.
no.
So
And
this is, go
oh,
ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
This is all about knowing yourself. If you want to be a friend and you want people to help you and do things for you and they can do it much better than you need to be a friend of yourself first.
Mhm.
Be a friend to I'm a friend to Gio. When Gio get all that negative stuff, I had the friend part come out and say, Gio, be kind to yourself.
Mhm.
So if I'm saying that to myself, I'm gonna say that by my friend. I'm gonna say that by Marlene. I'm gonna say that about people in my life. But if I'm not saying that to myself, then I'm not gonna say it to nobody else, and I don't know how to be no friend. So if you want to be successful, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna have to have people on your team.
Right. Yeah,
People help you be successful.
right. Right. People will help you be successful, but Gio, but at the same time, people can help you, but people can only help you with what you show up with. People
True.
can't make you get up and act and do the right thing. People can't make you be at peace. People can't make you be, do the right things. That has to be something that has to be inside of you already.
That's why you have to get yourself right if
Mhm.
you want to win.
Right. Yep. And that takes us to the second point. Know yourself in order to be successful. Point number two is to be successful, you have to have self respect.
Yeah.
Respect is not there within yourself, you can't show up for your business. You can't show up for your friends, your family, for relationships. If you don't respect yourself first, you're gonna go left and do whatever everybody else is doing. Like you said, grimy things, underhanded, backstabbing, jealous.
All that.
Mhm. Yeah. You sure will. So that's why it's so important for us to have self respect. And self respect just means that, I respect my thoughts. Don't put yourself down. Let's stop that. Let's end that. No matter your upbringing, no matter what people have said about you, respect your own opinions. Have self esteem and
Hmm.
say, I am somebody.
Thank
I
you.
I I am good enough. I can do this. And then show up every day and tell yourself that until one day it clicks and you actually believe it. Because I have to tell you, Gio, when I first started off doing this motivation thing, I didn't believe everything that I was saying. I knew it was a good thing. I knew that it was positive. I knew that it was important, but I didn't believe it yet. And
I
it wasn't,
did.
I believed it that I could start speaking up, talking louder, asserting myself, looking at people in their eyes and saying things. But it will come in time. But
Right.
you have to work on yourself.
Yeah. When I first met Marlene, I believed I really liked her because she was speaking things that I knew about. I knew she had been through something and I knew she had been to therapy because when you've been to therapy, you tend to say stuff, it's like a code. And you can figure out if a person has been through something and made it on the other side. So when I first met her, I was like, oh, wow, finally, somebody on YouTube to know what it means to make it. You know what I'm saying? To know how to be better. And whether or not you believe that what that at that time, Marlene, when you were speaking it, you have so many other people
Hmm. But
until you believed it, along the way. I could tell when you start really believing it because then you became this Marlene.
Yes. What is the saying go? You fake it until you make it.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I was doing. Not that I was being fake, but you know how, like, what's good. It's like starting this brand new process of loving yourself. And that doesn't come natural to
No,
everybody. Everybody just has to wake up and, like, oh, I love myself. I'm so beautiful. I'm so important. I'm special. Oh, every person has a journey to get to that space to love
right.
yourself as that woman or that man.
That's just the point. I understand all of everything you just said. And it's a journey. Like my journey, I had to write it down. I had to write 50 times. It take 30 minutes out of my day and write, I love you, Gio. I love you, Gio. I love you, Gio. I love you, Gio. And at some point in time, I don't know when, but I started loving Gio. Okay. The next thing I had to do was write down, I forgive you, blank, blank. I forgive you. At some point in time, I start forgiving that person. But see, this is the thing to know yourself. You got to work for it. You just can't just write it one time, one day, say, oh, I love myself, and then forget to say it. It takes work to get there. It takes work to make the changes that you want in your life so that you can be successful. You know,
Exactly.
they be asking me, Gio, how come my YouTube channel this and that? Because you ain't working it. I mean,
That
let's get real.
Yeah.
I mean, I ask myself the same thing. I wonder how, because I ain't doing nothing. I ain't putting up no shorts. I ain't making no content. I ain't trying to go live. Nothing. So, duh,
Yeah.
you have to work at it. Business is business. You have to show up every day for your business. You have to
Right.
show up every day for you. And you have to want this. I always go back to that. You have to want it bad enough in order to make it real.
You do. You have to want it. So that brings us to point number three. Know yourself in order to be successful. And this is a part, this was very difficult for me. And some of you, well, this comes natural, but it was so hard for me to be compassionate to myself. It was so easy for me to be compassionate and be kind, loving, all of these things, sacrifice for other people. But when it came to the time Marlene needed to shine, the time Marlene needed for rest, I didn't know how to be that Marlene because I was always taught to give to others, to help other people. But it's okay, everybody. You cannot be successful if you don't know it's time for me to rest. It's time for me to get up and I need to be exercising. I need to be studying. I need to be working on my gifts. You have to know yourself and apply some compassion to yourself and not be so
Yeah.
tough. We're not perfect,
No.
but you got to be
It's
compassionate to
mine.
yourself. It's time to pause. It's time to put my foot on the gas. It's time to just stop. You got to know that about yourself and don't beat up yourself, because one thing that really hit me when my therapist told me that we can be our own worst critic. You
Yeah.
criticize not good. Oh, I'm not as good as this person. I'm not good as that person. And I should have had that by now. Look at my age. Look at this. Look at that. Stop doing that. Be compassionate to yourself, and that's telling yourself, I'm doing the best that I can. And if I'm not, I can always make changes.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm good to myself because I know when to take me a nap.
Yes.
I know when it's time to take me a nap time because look, I get antsy. You know what I'm saying? Because I get up early in the morning, okay? And sometimes 6 or 5 o'clock, I'm in here working, trying to do whatever. So and you have to give yourself permission to be kind to yourself. Give yourself permission to be passionate to yourself. And also to make mistakes and learn from them. Don't beat yourself up so bad. You might say, darn, I wish I hadn't have done that. Okay, the next thought that I have, guys, is what did I learn from this? So that
Yes.
I won't make this mistake again. That's being compassionate to yourself. That's being kind to yourself. And once I ask myself that, then I say, okay, I learned this, and this. Okay. And, and when I do that, I can get through it much quicker. And I go on and do something else. It's according on what he did. Now, if I played a big part in it, then I got to go apologize and
You're
all
right.
of this stuff. And you really learn from that because you don't want to have to do that no more. Especially if it was with a good friend. All of that goes back to winning.
Yes. Yep. It's learning to be successful in this life. You have to know when it's time to check your ego,
Yeah,
and and you have to know the time to say, Marlene, right now this isn't about you. Now you need to be a good friend. Now you need to be supportive of somebody else. Now you need to be a mentor. Now you need to be. But that's all about knowing yourself. You can't always make everything about you. Nobody wants to be around somebody who's always selfish, egotistic, jealous, a control freak. We don't want to be around those people.
mm-mm.
No.
So,
Yeah. So that brings us to point number 4. Know yourself in order to be successful, and that's self worth. Boy, I had to take a deep breath for that one because, boy, has that been a journey for Marlene. I don't know about you all, but for me, coming to the space to say, I'm worth it, I'm worth it. Not just because I'm somebody's daughter or sister or friend or this, I'm worth it because I'm me. I have worth. I have value. I can do some good things. And that doesn't make us egotistical. It means that we know our worth.
right. I know my worth today. I've been knowing it for a long time. Before I got myself together, I didn't know what my worth was. I didn't even know I could be this person.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, today I am worthy of all things that God has in store for me. I know how to say thank you. Okay. I know how to say thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. What else you got? I'm ready because
Right.
I'm worthy. I'm a precious child of God. Okay. That makes me worthy. Now, ask me that when I was 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, halfway in my 30s before I went to therapy. I didn't understand that. Oh, I'm so glad that I could sit here today, Marlene. And I'm glad that you could sit here today and we could share what we've been through and how we have changed with other people. And I hope that this helps somebody
Yes.
understand why you maybe you want to be successful, or you right at it and you quit, or you right at it and you don't know why you can't get there. You have to stop and say, I need to look inwards and see what is in there that's stopping me. And that's what was happening to me. And that's why I can never be successful until I looked at that and forgave that. Then
Exactly.
invited God back in my life. And baby, look here. I soared in everything that I wanted and still sowing today.
Yes.
Okay, child, please. I don't want to go back there. I remember, so I don't have to, but I don't never want to go back.
Yep.
That was,
Yeah.
let me just
It,
say this, Marley, and I'm going to give it to. It was just so hard when everything that I had to go through to get to this. But that was my journey, so I could sit here and tell y'all, you can make it too.
yes. Yes. That's so true, Jill. And I'm so glad that you shared that because I can speak on my thing is removing fears and insecurities, because when you grow up or you are around people that always put you down, told you you're not this or you're not that, I had to learn to develop within me a new model, a new criteria that this is what they said about me in the past, but today this is who I am: strong,
Right.
power, courage, enough, worthy, capable. I'm a friend to myself. And that's why I know how
Mm.
to be a friend to somebody else. I know,
Amen.
because I had to practice it. I had to learn how to be my friend. I had to, it's nothing wrong with being kind and doing things for other people. But if you empty yourself and you give 100% to your kids, your friends, your this person, what is left for you?
Mm. Nothing. And
And,
then you
and
get all antsy and mad and
yep,
bitter.
yep. And salty and disrespectful, and people say things, and it's because you're not pouring into yourself. Therapy taught me that.
Yeah.
Self-love taught me that. That I don't give after I've given to everybody. No, I give to me first. I make sure I got to take care of my hair, my skin, my teeth, my this, my that. And then when I've taken care of myself, then if I can see, that's the balance that I had to learn, that even when I'm full, it doesn't mean now I have to give to you.
Right.
If I want to, that boundary part, Gio, that
Right.
taught me how to be successful, that I don't always have to give to this person, that person, because they ask. I had learned no, and that has caused me to be successful. You got to say no to other people to say yes to yourself.
That's true. And I say it real good. No. No.
Mm,
No. No.
nope,
No.
nope, nope.
No. 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 Before I was like you, just giving, giving, giving. No wonder I
Yeah.
was mad and
Mhm.
hurt, feeling hurt inside. And then when it was their turn to give to you couldn't find them suckers nowhere.
Nowhere. What did it say? Crickets. You hear nothing. Be like, what?
That's
Nothing.
But
Mm,
today I can say I have real friends in my life today. Even though
mm.
my circle is this small, but they good friends, and I'm gonna keep them.
Yes, that's good, Gio. Okay, let's go to point number 5. Know yourself in order to be successful, and that is consistency and being persistent. Now,
Right.
I touched on it a little bit, but my biggest problem when I that got me away from being successful was procrastination.
Yep.
Woo! Oh, Lord have mercy. Will that stop you from being successful? You can't just do things when you feel like it, or, oh, when I have time. You have to make
Nah.
time for what is important to you.
You have to have a plan.
Hmm.
You have to have a plan, and you then once you write it all down, you have to execute it. If you don't, I get to it tomorrow, child, you ain't gonna be successful. Oh, I gotta go do this, and you got people waiting on you, and you don't do it.
Hmm.
You're not gonna ever have no team. You're not gonna ever have no money.
And you're not going to have no trust.
Thank
People.
you, people, and trust me, people talk.
Mm,
They don't forget how you made them feel.
right.
Not so much as what you say is. I guess it is true because then if you say stuff and they feel a different way. No, because this one person long time ago, Marlene said some stuff, and I just
Hurt.
yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I just, every time I see this person online, this is in my affiliate world, I just don't have nothing to say. Like,
Mm,
if they come up with a good idea and it's making some good money, that's a whole different thing.
yeah.
But
Like
I
a.
don't collaborate with them.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true, Gio. So that's what we're talking about here. You have to look at yourself and say, what am I doing right? And what am I not doing right? And then be consistent, persistent. And now we're here at the last point. Know yourself in order to be successful. And that is a reset. And a
Yeah,
reset necessary because if things are not working and you've done all of the steps and why isn't it working, it may be time for you to give yourself the permission to say, let's start over again. Start fresh with your ideas, start fresh with your goals, start fresh with what you're doing, a new perspective, take a break, and then reset.
right. Reset is very important. That doesn't mean you fail. It
Hmm.
just means that you need to do it a different way. Or maybe sometimes you just don't do it at all and think of something new.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, reset is very important. Sometimes you got to reset your friends.
Mm.
You
Or
reset them on the bench and say they never get up and cause chaos in your life.
yeah.
It's a lot of things that you can reset to make your life better.
Yep. And the reset sometimes means that you need to cut off these certain individuals because this is something I did not want to hear, Gio. When my therapist told me my friends, my relatives, and my relationship is the things that is stopping me from my success.
Yeah.
How dare you? How I said, how dare you? These are good people. I've known them a lot of years. And say, yeah, but how long have they been helping you? I don't mean how long you've been helping them, but how long have they been helping you?
Yeah, you had to think about that, didn't you?
And I was like, I was like, why she have to do me like that? But it's the truth. So,
Yeah.
any final words, Gio?
Well, just know yourself if you want to be successful. We can all be successful to a certain point. But if you want that big win, that big successful deal that you're looking for, know yourself. And success doesn't have to be in business, it could be in whatever it is. Like my biggest success is my personal life is straightened out. My biggest success is that I learned how to forgive folks.
Mhm.
Okay. My biggest success is that I just don't let criticism stop me from getting what I want. My light bill got to get paid over here. Okay. Now, what if, oh, no, see, that's a whole other thing. What if I let criticism stop me and I got this 200 and some dollar electric bill sitting up there looking at me in my face, and then you tell me, oh, I don't like what you had on today, and then I don't go live. God, please, you got the wrong girl here.
You- re-
I don't
Gio,
care.
reset, reset.
They
Come on.
need to reset, not me.
Not not you. Them. They need a reset. So
Thank you,
um
because I'm gonna
Jen,
get my
so
money
glad.
back.
Yes, I know that's right. So know yourself in order to be successful. Me and Gio just wanted to do this collaboration. Know yourself to be successful. This is part 1 of 4. So there's going to be 3 others in this collaboration topics. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel and also go and subscribe to Boss Life Online. She also did the same topic, but from a different perspective. So I'm going to link it, go and check it out. And you know what I say over here on Marlene Motivates. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life. I'm Marlene Motivates, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, Gio. Bye, everybody. Okay.